Toxic people aren't rare. They exist in every circle, friends, family, workspaces, even online. They drain energy, stir up conflict, and test patience. Let's be honest, if toxic people keep showing up in your life, it's not all on them, it's on you for allowing them to stay. But that doesn't mean you should blame yourself. It means you're now in a position to take your power back. See, toxic people don't just appear out of nowhere. They look for cracks in your boundaries. They feed on your reactions. And most of the time, we let them stay because we're afraid to face the truth. You can't change them, but you can outsmart them. Let's talk about how to do that, step by step. Because the moment you learn how to protect your peace, they lose their grip on you. 1. Forgive, but don't forget. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. People think if you forgive someone, you're weak, naive, or willing to let them hurt you again. But that's not real forgiveness. True forgiveness isn't about pretending what happened didn't hurt. It's not about bringing someone back into your life either. It's about releasing the anger so you can move forward. You forgive not for their sake, but for your own peace. But don't get it twisted. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting. Forgetting is what opens the door for the same hurt to repeat itself. Think of it like this. Forgiveness is healing the wound. But the scar, that's the memory, the lesson. You don't reopen the wound, but you also don't erase the scar. The Stoics talked a lot about emotional control. Forgiveness is one of the clearest ways to practice that. When you forgive, you're not letting them off the hook. You're refusing to let their actions control your emotions anymore. And when you choose not to forget, you're protecting yourself from being fooled again. So let go of the bitterness, but carry the lesson with you like armor, not like baggage. 2. Limit their access to you. Let's be real. Not everyone deserves front-row access to your life. It doesn't matter if they're family, longtime friends, or co-workers you see every day. If they're constantly draining your energy, disrespecting your boundaries, or spreading negativity, it's time to create distance. Some people call it cold. But protecting your peace isn't selfish. It's necessary. Limiting access doesn't always mean cutting someone off completely. Sometimes it's about quietly adjusting how much you share, how often you respond, or how deeply you engage. That friend who always dumps their problems on you? Try answering with, "Wow, that sounds tough. What do you think you'll do about it?" Watch how fast they lose interest. That relative who always criticizes your choices? You don't need to argue. Just smile, nod, and stop giving them the full story. They can't criticize what they don't know. That co-worker who lives for gossip and drama? Try saying, "I'm not really into all that," and walk away. At first, it might feel awkward, but over time, they'll realize you're not the one to dump on anymore. When you start valuing your time and energy, others are forced to do the same. And the ones who don't, they either adjust or remove themselves. 3. Use humor to disarm them. Here's a powerful trick. Sometimes, the best way to handle a toxic person is to not take them seriously. Toxic people thrive on drama. They want arguments, reactions, attention. But when you refuse to play their game, when you respond with humor or light sarcasm, you take the power right out of their hands. Humor is a quiet disruptor. It shifts energy. It confuses people who expect conflict. When someone throws a jab or a passive-aggressive comment, a light, clever response can shut it down without escalating anything. Let's say someone keeps interrupting you during a meeting. You might say, with a calm smile, "Wow, I didn't know we were co-presenting today. Your turn's over mine now." It makes your point. No drama. 4. Know when to walk away. Walking away isn't weakness, it's wisdom. There comes a point where staying in a toxic relationship, whether it's a friendship, family tie, or something romantic, doesn't make you strong. It just drains you. See, Toxic people aren't always loud or obvious. Some are subtle. They'll constantly make everything about them. They'll ignore your feelings. And when you need them most, they're nowhere to be found. They might say things like, "If you walk away, you're giving up on me." Or, "I'm sorry, I'll change." But if the behavior keeps repeating, those words don't mean anything. And the more you stay, the more you lose pieces of yourself. Walking away doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be quiet, simple, intentional. It might look like not answering every call, not replying to every text right away, letting the connection fade naturally. Sometimes it even means emotionally detaching, keeping conversations surface level, and no longer letting their behavior affect how you feel. And yes, in some cases, walking away means creating distance from someone society tells you to stick with no matter what, like a family member. But here's the truth. Blood doesn't give someone the right to mistreat you. You don't have to stay loyal to pain. Walking away isn't an act of anger, it's an act of self-love. You're saying, "I deserve better than this. I deserve relationships that respect and support me." And when you finally do it, when you take that step back, you'll feel it. Relief, freedom, a clear reminder that your peace matters too. Because in the end, it was never really about them. It was about how you let them affect your life. And now, you're choosing to take that power back. 5. Surround yourself with uplifting people. Being around toxic people feels like trying to swim with weights tied to your feet. They drag you down, constantly, emotionally, mentally. But surrounding yourself with uplifting people, that changes everything. Positive, supportive people don't just make you feel good. They remind you of who you are when the world tries to make you forget. They celebrate your growth. They hold you up when life gets hard. They give you peace, not pressure. Your environment plays a huge role in your mindset. If you're always around drama, bitterness, or manipulation, it starts to affect how you think and behave. But if you're around people who are kind, encouraging, and honest, you begin to rise. So how do you create that kind of circle? Identify your tribe. Look for people who bring out the best in you. Not the ones who just agree with you, but the ones who challenge you in healthy ways. Prioritize depth over quantity. A few solid, genuine connections are worth more than 100 shallow ones. Be what you want to attract. If you want uplifting people, be one yourself. Listen, support, speak life into others. And here's where it gets hard. Sometimes, this shift means letting go of long-time relationships that no longer align with your peace, even if you've known them for years. Loyalty is important, yes, but it should never come at the cost of your well-being. The truth is, when you start spending more time with people who uplift you, you begin to see just how heavy the toxic ones really were. And once you experience what real support feels like, you'll wonder why you ever settled for less. 6. Refuse to engage in their games. Toxic people love to provoke. They want reactions. They feed on chaos. It's like a game to them. They bait you with passive-aggressive comments, guilt trips, or straight-up drama, just to get a rise out of you. And if you fall for it, they win. But here's the power move. Don't play. Don't take the bait. Don't explain yourself. Don't try to win the argument. Just stop participating. When someone throws out a snide remark, try this. Smile. Say, "You're entitled to your opinion." Then move on. They'll try again. But over time, they'll see they're not getting the reaction they want, and that frustrates them more than anything. Refusing to engage doesn't mean you're passive. It means you're strategic. You're protecting your energy. You're choosing peace over pointless conflict. Here's how to master it. Recognize the pattern. Notice when they're trying to push your buttons. Once you see it clearly, it loses its power. Another one is to stay calm. They want you emotional. Don't give them that satisfaction. Use neutral responses, like interesting. I hear you. I'll think about it. Keep it short and unemotional. Set firm boundaries. I'm not going to argue about this. Or, let's talk when it's a respectful conversation. Now, some people will call you cold or distant for doing this. They'll try to guilt you into reacting. But that's just another trick. You don't owe anyone your energy. Refusing to engage doesn't make you weak. It makes you wise. You're choosing not to be pulled into their mess. You're taking control of how you respond, and that's where your strength is. 7. Stay focused on your purpose. Toxic people are distractions in disguise. They pull you into their mess, their drama, their chaos, until suddenly your life revolves around their problems instead of your progress. But here's the thing. When you stay focused on your purpose, their noise starts to fade. Because nothing shakes someone who knows where they're going, and the more focused you are, the less control they have. Toxic people don't like that. They'll criticize your goals, undermine your achievements, or conveniently create problems the moment you're making progress. Why? Because your growth threatens their control. Your clarity makes their chaos less powerful. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke." That's the mindset. They can't pull you off track unless you allow it. So how do you stay grounded when the distractions come? Get clear on your purpose. Write it down. Keep it close. Remind yourself often, this is where I'm headed. This is what matters. Say no without guilt. If it doesn't serve your goals or protect your peace, it's a no. Treat their drama like background noise. It's there, but it doesn't deserve your attention. You don't have to react. Let it pass. Surround yourself with fuel, not friction. Read, watch, and spend time with people and things that keep you aligned with your higher goals. Epictetus put it this way: keep your attention focused entirely on what is truly your own concern, and be clear that what belongs to others is their business and none of yours. Their chaos isn't your business, your purpose is. And when you stay focused, everything changes. You move smarter, you think clearer, and slowly the power they once had over you dissolves. 8. Avoid gossiping about them. Now this one might feel small, but it's not. Gossip is just another trap. It pulls you back into the same cycle you're trying to escape. It keeps the toxic person in your head, in your space, in your energy. And for what? A moment of release? A quick laugh or shared complaint? It's not worth it. When you gossip about someone who hurt you, you're not healing. You're repeating, and you're giving them even more control over your peace. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." That's what gossip does. It turns you into a mirror of what you're trying to avoid. Even if they wronged you, even if you're right, you're still stuck in their mess when you keep their name on your tongue. So what's the better way? Vent wisely. If you need to talk, choose one trusted person who won't feed the drama. Just help you release it and move on. Stick to facts, not insults. There's a difference between processing something and tearing someone down. Protect your integrity. Redirect the conversation. If others start gossiping about that person, steer the topic in a healthier direction. You don't have to feed the fire. Focus on what's next, not what they did. What boundaries can you set? What lesson did you learn? What do you need now to move forward? Seneca once wrote, "It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable. And the best way to guard your mind is to stop letting others live in it, rent-free." People might say you're too nice or too quiet for not gossiping. But that's fine, because you're not here to win anyone's approval. You're here to win your peace. Epictetus said it best. It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. Gossip is opinion. Peace is action. Choose the one that helps you sleep better at night. Toxic people will always exist in workplaces, in families, in friendships. But the moment you learn to respond differently, they lose their power. Seneca said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." And learning how to handle toxic people quietly, wisely, and with dignity is one of the most important lessons of all.